and nation building.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to another program of Community Forum, MTV Community Forum. As usual, we are happy to have you in our company tonight. Unfortunately, tonight, I am your only host tonight because my co-host and friend Byron is not feeling well, is a little bit under the weather, so you have me to put up with tonight. And I hope we have a program that can give you the benefits as Byron and I just do it when we go at each other. So, as usual, we're going to be starting off with the chit-chat section of this program. And to let you know, this evening we have a special guest with us, a young man by the name of Mr. Let me just get his name, Mr. Quito, Jerome Quito. He's a young entrepreneur. So after we have our little discussion, we will bring him in the second segment of the program and go through the journey with him as to what and where he is and his products. We'll display them as usual for us to, as you know, this is part of our program where we try to highlight a young entrepreneur every month on our Community Forum program. So, getting right into it, I want to talk this evening about some things that I've noticed, and I want to start off with the situation with Venezuela and give an update since the earthquake. So far, the figures are showing that we have 3,535 deaths and 1,700 individuals injured and 18,000 homeless. And the expectation is that that number will increase over the next few months. So I want to start with that because I think, you know, we owe the Venezuelans a lot of empathy. We owe them a lot of recognition in the difficult times because Venezuela was one of the countries that was helping us when we had serious issues with oil and the price of oil, and helping us to keep the price of generating electricity at a reasonable rate through the Petro-Carib arrangement. So I'm hoping that as Grenada, I know we had initiatives for Cuba. I hope we can have some initiatives for Venezuela and to help where we can in some small way in the time of crisis. So one of the things, moving on, one of the things I've noticed in recent time is the cleaning of the side of the roads. As the rainy season have started and the bush have started growing with a lot of enthusiasm, we have started to use a lot of weed eater guys in the road cleaning, apart from cutlass and so on. And I think that is something we have to applaud the government for, because there's a positive things in terms of efficiency and how fast they could get areas where they are assigned cut reasonably well, raked and clean, and so on. But the point I want to make here is that I think using the weed eaters on the road to achieve speed and efficiency is also posing a safety issue and danger to oncoming traffic, because the objects, the stones, the little stones could break a windscreen, and if your glasses are down, stones could enter your vehicle and damage you physically, because of the speed and momentum of these little stones, which when you increase their speed, they could be very dangerous. So I want to ask the authorities if they could use screens when the guys are cutting on the side of the road, and sometimes the ladies with them who are doing the raking, they are sitting waiting for the guys to do a certain amount of cut and then come and rake. So can't we just use the same ladies to hold up the screen to safeguard the traffic and the people in the traffic so that we don't have issues with that? So that is, as I say, I am impressed and applaud the government for the efficiency and the using of weed eaters, but we need to pay attention to that with the screen. In most other countries, Trinidad and Barbados, when they're cutting on the side of the roads, they have screens so that you could safeguard the people in traffic with the objects that may fly off. The other thing I want to raise is, in recent times, I have noticed, in particular, the roundabout on the top of Loder's Lane is fast becoming an area where we're selling different things. So there's a guy that sells kerosene in bottles. He sits right on one of the roundabouts islands and plies his trade. Recently, a little further down, on the side of the roundabout on the side, a guy have started barbecuing and offering food and so on. I mean, I know the police may have dealt with this or not, but we cannot have the distribution and selling of stuff on a roundabout. A roundabout is such a busy place traffic-wise, especially in the morning and after work and the movement. Could you imagine people stopping and preventing the flow of traffic because they stopped to buy barbecue or they stopped to buy kerosene or whatever it is? And I can't understand why the authorities and the police, particularly the traffic department, have not banned or stopped that and say, listen guys, you cannot operate on a roundabout. You will have to find somewhere else to sell your and ply your trade. And I believe those are little things. The guy with the kerosene started, and now we see it has added with the barbecue section a little further down from the roundabout. So I raise that because I think it's something we need to nip in the bud and quickly have the police department through traffic, the RGPF, if they have not dealt with it, to come back and deal with it again and have this dealt with. Farm roads. The rainy season have started. We have started getting some rains, and we have seen the situation with some farm roads as a result of the water and so on in a terrible state, particularly in the Hartford area, where my co-host normally lives and have property, Byron, and in his area is Hartford, I think. In his area, we have seen a deterioration of the farm roads, and it is hoped that physical planning and one of the companies in that area will get together and give some stability to the road in that particular area. But generally, farm roads for the farmers has been ignored, and we have said on this program repeatedly that this is something we need to pay attention to, because the farmers need to have access to the lands to and from, so produce could come either to the supermarkets or to the general public in a reasonable time and a reasonable quality. So again, I implore the authority, Ministry of Agriculture and others, works to get involved and see how we could give some sort of priority to farm roads and to get the farm roads up to a point where it is easily traversed. We're into the carnival season, obviously, the number of fetes and parties and events that are happening. We're very much into the carnival season. We're in July. August is carnival, so we close by all the different, I think is soca as well as groovy soca preliminaries have started. So we're very much into the carnival season, and I am hoping that 2026 could be one of the major carnivals. We'll see a lot of visitors. You're hearing from all the hotels that they're fully booked. Some of the Airbnb you can't even get. So that's a positive thing for us. However, I want to say to general public, and I know RGPF does this around this season, and we'll try to get them on the program to talk about security issues on two fronts. Security issues in your home. Around that time, we tend to be a little lax. We might leave a door unlocked. Guys would prey on that and try and break in, and break-ins to properties tend to rise because we want money to spend on different things. So please, as a homeowner and somebody, as a parent, you need to pay attention to your property and your children when they're going out to these various events. What is happening? How do you stay in contact? Recently, we had some young ladies that was missing and some were found. We need to pay attention to what is happening to our young folk, whether they're involved in excessive drinking and so on. So for the parents, we need to pay attention over this festive season. It's a season where you could have good fun, but you don't need to engage in excesses. And on the other front, in terms of the carnival season, is the driving. And we have a lot of vehicles on the road, and normally when we drink and we get less than proper in control of what we're doing, we tend to have more accidents and the frequency. I know the RGPF will set up patrols and set up points to check on vehicles to see if there's any weaponry in vehicles and what is happening. And of course, we do have in Grenada the ability to check for alcohol content and whether or not you are able to properly drive and maneuver your vehicle. And then when we coming home in those wee hours of the morning and we tired and we sleepy, we tend to speed up in order to get home, which could be a dangerous thing if we fall asleep on the wheel. So I'm saying to John Public and the general people out there, please pay attention to just those little things so that our carnival can remain as safe and incident-free and no major incidents in terms of accidents and young people go missing and all of that kind of stuff. So we need to pay some attention to that. Recently, in the UN, we had a vote to debate the sanction issue with Cuba. The vote was overwhelmingly passed, where the debate is going to proceed in the autumn session of the United Nations. As you know, this has been a sour topic. You have a majority of nations in the UN, not in agreement with the sanctions that has been applied to Cuba. But what is alarming in this particular situation for us, Grenada did not partake in the vote for the UN. We had Grenada abstaining, Guyana was absent, and Trinidad and Tobago abstained. And I think as a country close to Cuba, what Cuba has done for us over the years, the airport, we could call many things, medical assistance. After Ivan, the amount of Cubans that came here to get our country back up, we've been doing a lot of fundraising to assist with Cuba to send basic medical supplies and food and so on. And here we have a vote taking part in the UN, and Grenada abstained. And this vote is to have the debate take place in the autumn session of the United Nations General Assembly. And I am confused as to what could be the reason for our abstention. And I know our Minister of Foreign Affairs obviously probably will have to be taken to task. Why would we abstain from a vote to engage in a debate? And we know how close and how much Cuba have done for Grenada. So if that, I have here the countries that voted against and who abstained, and Grenada is on the list when you download this from the United Nations. So it is troubling that we are so close as we claim to be with Cuba, and yet still the country is adopting a position that says that we don't want to support a vote to have a debate on the issue with the Cuban situation. And at the end of the day, I think all of us in this region, particularly the OECS and the CARICOM, need to support Cuba in its time of need. And the real issue with Cuba is how do we get the sanctions by the US to be dropped? And I know the US is particularly stubborn about this issue, and they don't want to drop the sanctions on Cuba. But we have a whole country with 12 plus million people suffering because they can't even get fuel to burn electricity 24 hours a day. And we really have to, be troubled by this foreign policy of the US and Grenada to some extent not partaking in this vote at the United Nations. So I'm hoping that as, we could get some explanation, or as time moves by, we will be part of that debate on whether these sanctions on the Cuban government and country will continue. So that is something for us that we have to look at. Oil and gas. In recent time, our Prime Minister had attended a meeting on oil and gas in Suriname and announced at that meeting that Grenada was open for business from the standpoint that blocks that we have available to us in our waters will now be up for negotiation and entertain businesses who want to meet with us for the selling of these blocks and the establishment of agreements as to how they drill and mine what is below there, whether it's gas or oil. But one of the things that we have, and recently occurred, we have a Russian company, I think the name is GPG, I could be corrected on that have complained that since the new government, NDC, has been in power, they have written to them on many occasions to get an understanding of what needs to be done for them to get further permission to do more extensive drilling in the area of the block that they own. They have already done a set of seismic studies, both 3-dimensional and 2-dimensional, and they have already done some drilling, and they believe in the wells that they have drilled so far, there is good commercial viability for the exploitation of gas and oil. So that is something we need to get a further understanding on. And as I wrap up now, just to say that under gender-based violence, we still, and as every program we said, we will highlight this issue, and we hope our men will behave themselves, particularly in this festive season, and not engage in any sort of gender-based violence to their children and their spouses and their significant others. So I end there, and as we break, when we come back, we'll be introducing you to our young entrepreneur of, what is the name of the business? Let me get it for you, folks. The business is Platacool. Platacool is the name of the business, and we're going to be talking to Mr. Jerome Quito right after the break.
Laboratories, providing quality care and expertise. Fit for life and allied laboratories. See our in-house doctors and our pharmacies. Get expert care and quality tests. When it comes to your health, you deserve the best. Fit for life and allied laboratories. We're taking care of Grenada.
In Grenada, sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. They teach discipline, teamwork, and resilience. They inspire the next generation to push boundaries and chase excellence. That's why the Investment Migration Agency of Grenada is proud to support sports initiatives as part of our commitment to youth and national development. When we invest in sports programs, we invest in the future. We invest in the health and well-being of our youth, and we invest in broadening Grenada's reach, proudly connecting our athletes, our talent, and our nation to a global community. Together, we all go further. The Investment Migration Agency. Unlock the possibilities.
MTV Vibes or Spice Mass. Spice Mass in Grenada. Spice Mass in Grenada. MTV Vibes of Spice Mass 2026. Grenada. MTV Vibes. Go Spice Mass.
Grenada, are you ready for the most epic cool down after Spice Mass? Because on Wednesday, August 12th, the Grenada National Cricket Stadium becomes the home of one massive soca experience. Carnival Encore, Sunset Over White.
Are you ready?
Featuring not one, but two international soca giants, Marshall Montano and the Monk Band.
Give them performance. We deserve a party.
Test the band.
She tell me rum and Coca-Cola. Miss how she lay.
And they'll be joined by some of Grenada's biggest soca superstars for one unforgettable night of music, vibes, and pure island energy. This is the event that keeps the carnival spirit alive. The final celebration. The Encore. You don't want to miss. General admission and VIP early bird tickets are sold out online. General admission $150, VIP $550. Get your tickets now at gotofed.com and the official Sunshine Promotions outlets. Carnival Encore 2026. Sunset Over White. Wednesday, August 12th at the National Cricket Stadium. When the road ends, this is the Encore.
Welcome back, viewers. As I indicated earlier, tonight we shine in the spotlight on a young Grenadian entrepreneur who has proven that innovation doesn't always begin in a lab. It can begin with the fruits growing in our own backyards. Grenada is blessed with an abundance of mangoes, guavas, golden apples, soursop, passion fruit, to mention a few, tamarind, and other tropical fruits. Yet every year, large quantities spoil during the harvest season because there is no market or processing capacity. At the same time, Grenada spends well over 300 plus million annually on our importing food bill, and juices and so on is a significant part of that, depending on the year, including many beverages that could potentially be produced locally. Our tourism industry welcomes hundreds of thousands of visitors every year, but many of the drinks consumed in hotels and restaurants are imported, and that is a problem I think we have. That means a significant share of every tourism dollar leaves the country instead of circulating the economy. Tonight we ask a simple question. Can a young entrepreneur like Mr. Jerome Kito help change that? Jerome, welcome to the program.
Happy to be here.
Right. And you know, I want to start with the name Platacool.
Platacool.
And what would have, tell me the genesis of Platacool and how you came up with that name.
Well, the name Platacool came from my younger brother. What we had before was before we started producing in the bottles, we had it in a plastic bag.
Right.
It was too small, too big to be Pinnacle, and too small to be a bag juice.
Right, or to
So-
be a rice kind of juice.
Sort of humor, my younger brother said, well, that is a Platacool, and I just decided just to take the name from there.
What does Plata mean? What's the here in the world?
Well, to me, based on sound, I don't know based on definition. Based on sound, it might just be something flat.
So you studied business in TAMCC.
Yes, sir.
What would have caused you to move from, now that this is not a business, but into producing local juices instead of pursuing a traditional job in business and so on? What would have caused you to move there?
Well, first, my love for juice.
You know, for juice?
Yes, I do love juice. Secondly, I believe like the market has a lot of sweet drinks. A lot of drinks that can spike your sugar. So I decided that, hey, I'm going to make a juice that we Grenadians can enjoy.
So we're going to juice for somebody like me.
Definitely.
Who's diabetic and can't drink sweet juices.
Definitely.
And I think in Grenada we just put too much sugar in our juices.
Yes, and so you will be a fond of my cucumber, lime, and ginger, or
Alright.
my beet and ginger.
So tell me a little about you, your personal journey, you as an individual, and you know, how now you are at this stage moving this business. Tell me a little about you and your background, where you started, and so on.
So my name is Jerome Kito. I am from Busheju, that is on the northwest side of St. George's.
The Dr. Mitchell constituency.
Definitely. Yeah, I am a Grenadian dreamer. I believe that in Grenada we waste a lot of our fruits, and I believe that we can put it into good use by producing, whether it be juice or other things like tamarind bars and so forth. So, but I choose to invest in juices because I love juices. I'm very passionate in making juices and so forth.
And you know, I hear you talking about mixing the juices with different condiments like ginger and so on. What kind of research would you have done? I see you have beet here and some of them and so forth. So
A lot of them would be influenced by the customer.
right.
A lot of them, because selling for some, being the producer and the salesman at the same time,
Right.
it gives you an upper hand in terms of like hearing directly from the customers what they want, and you know, listen. And
So we find our customers are more on the health side.
definitely,
It's not just about orange juice or mandarin juice, or they want mixes that could
Mixes.
influence their health.
Yeah.
So how many flavors you currently do now?
eating.
18.
Yeah.
So tell us about, you brought 8 here tonight. Tell us, just point out some of us and tell us what is the mix.
So the one closest to me would be the Guinness and milk.
Guinness and milk.
Yeah, I call it the power.
Okay.
And then the one over here, this green one, would be the cucumber, lime, and ginger, followed by the citrus mix, the passion fruit. I have tamarind, sorrel, morbi, and beet.
Okay,
Beet
you
and
have a
ginger.
morbi, so this one here will be the morbi.
Yeah, the one
And
closest.
these here will be sorrel and beet.
Sorrel and beet.
Right, and you mix the sorrel with the beet with ginger as well?
Yes, we put ginger in the beet as well. And the good thing is that we put no sugar in it, no added sugar.
Right.
Yeah, and it is one of our high sellers, I should say it.
Okay, and which right now, out of the 18 flavors, what would you say is your best seller?
Best seller would be the sea moss.
The sea moss.
Yeah. I didn't bring it today because
Is there only sea moss or you mix it with also?
so interestingly we put the grenadier nutmeg, cinnamon, and there's also a side of it where we put milk to make it more like a punch or smoothie. But also we have the one that has no milk, no sugar.
So people who have a sensitivity to milk.
Definitely, yeah.
And of course that will increase the sweetness as well. If you're
Yes,
if you're not
yes.
milk.
If you add milk, it does.
And you know, one of the problems we have with juices in Grenada, we have seen a lot of companies in the processing of juices come and fail because of the issue of supply of fruits. How are you dealing with that? And is that a challenge for you?
It is a challenge for us because most of the fruits are seasonal.
Right.
But I think most importantly, you have to try to be the master of your product. Try to attain a level of mastery in terms of preserving it. And that is where we focus. Right now we're focusing a lot of our attention in storing up in the season of abundance for when the season that it is off.
Well, and based on the flavors you have, the sorrel is one that you could, when you have sorrel, you know, green and red sorrel, we don't use green much in Grenada.
No.
But green is very good as well, and green could grow right through the year.
Yes.
Versus the red. Beet, you could grow beet right through
Right
the
through the
year.
year.
So you could always have beet. So you have ginger is another one, you always have ginger.
Yeah.
So you have flavors here that will not necessarily be affected by season.
Yeah.
And of course this is just 8, but you have 18.
Yeah.
You have passion fruit that comes and goes depending on. As a matter of fact, I just plant 2 passion fruit plants.
Oh, I have 10 to plant home.
Yeah, I like passion fruit as well.
Yeah.
Right, so you do have an area where you could kind of dodge the seasonality.
Yes.
Because I know we have mango in abundance. You don't have a mango drink?
Yes, I have the mango and lime.
Mango and lime.
Mango and lime.
That should taste good because lime normally
Yeah.
gives the flavor.
Well, to be honest, whenever the golden apple is out of season, the mango and lime usually a high seller because it
golden
have a
apples are another
similarity in
popular
taste.
juice as well.
Yep.
What about tambran?
Tambran, we usually have it in and out of season.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is easier to store tambran than any other of the products.
So you buy your supplies of fruits from the farmers, the local farmers, or you grow
Most
some
of them.
yourself? What?
Well, at the moment, no. I don't grow any of them. I have trees, but they are not ready as yet.
Right.
But as part of our vision, we always believe we should plant.
Yeah, and be self-sufficient in some of the things.
That is it.
And not depend too, but you do support the local farming community in the,
Yes.
if you have to get passion fruit.
A
and-
large part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The beet as well. The beet, the passion fruit, the cucumber. Yeah.
So in any 1 week, let's say, any 1 month, are you producing the 18 flavors, or you take 5 or 6 flavors based on the availability of supply and say that is what we're doing for this month, or how does that go?
So
18 is a good number.
yeah. So 18, we usually go with. Sometimes we miss 1 or 2. Like so right now we don't have it. We do not have it for a little while. Maybe a month or so.
Season advertising, no coming back.
Yeah, he coming back. So, but usually on a daily basis, we have 15 to 16 of them
Yeah?
showcased. Yeah.
Okay. And your business, what is the capacity of your business? So from the point of view of, in any 1 month, you say you could produce an average of 14, 16 flavors in any 1 month?
Yeah.
In these bottles, you don't have bigger sizes.
No, this is only the 500 ml is the
Is it
standard.
standard size?
Yeah,
so you
standard
don't do a
size.
1.5 liter or anything bigger than that. So if
Right.
you want to do a wholesale and a hotel come and sell 1 tambran juice for you.
Well, we have cases like that. We have cases where persons have picnics, church events, school events,
Right.
and they will say to us, we need the 5 liter,
Okay.
and we'll get it done.
And you get it done.
Yeah, but on a daily basis, because the average man who is walking on the street not necessarily interested in 5 liters of juice.
Correct.
You know, so one of our main focus I mean, we make almost 400 of these every day, every single day.
Every single day?
Every single day.
400?
Yeah.
So your capacity in bottles, 400 a day, times 30, is almost 12,000 a month.
Yeah, it's a lot of bottles,
Right.
a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of work.
Yeah. And tell me about your processing factory and the kind of equipment you have to help with that demand that you're engaging in. You buy bottles locally?
Yes, we buy it
So you
locally.
buy that locally, and
Yeah.
I suppose you're buying that in bulk.
Bulk.
But tell me about the other equipment that you may have in the production and where you set up. I mean, some people have the kitchen, some people do things. How your operation
Well,
runs?
currently, we're still in my kitchen. But I do have a couple juicers.
Right.
Yeah, blenders, juicers, extractors. A couple of that would be the majority of it.
And how many people you employ to help you with that kind of production level that you have?
Surprisingly 4, but I do have friends who are faithful, family who are faithful and contributing in terms of being there and making life a little bit easier in terms of like the production, like they will label the bottles, prep the different fruits. Yeah, you have to bottle it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
I know.
So I'm telling you, on a daily basis, a normal average night will be from 11 to straight to 6.
6 in the morning.
And go straight to sell.
Wow.
And be high spirited.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, if it was not for my family and friends who,
You
diligently,
need support.
support the,
So tell me what you think has been your biggest obstacle in your business and growing your business.
I think for me would be the access to the different machineries or equipments to extend the product life. I think that would be one.
So you're talking about things like pasteurization.
Pasteurization.
So you're not using chemicals to keep the quality and to get it going bad.
Yeah.
Right. So
To extend the shelf life and keep the content.
have you been able to do up a project and go to the various places like the GDB, the GIDC to assist you in getting it done and seek financing to
That is it.
get the equipment? Have you been able to do that yet?
Yeah, well, we haven't approached any organization or institution, but we do have the intention to do it. I always say, like, you have to learn to master certain art, there's the mastery of the product in terms of making it, understanding the business. I think that is one of the fundamental things you have to understand first.
Right.
And you have to be a diligent salesman, because it's a risk when you put yourself out there and you put your product out there with no understanding. As I say, zeal without knowledge, can turn you into...
And you're in the food business.
Yeah.
And one bad bottle
one bad butter.
could collapse the business.
Because I'm sure every one of us, I'm sure you yourself can think about a place that you will never eat from again or never drink from again. So we have to be extra careful. So for me, mastering the product and mastering the industry is very important. Very important to us.
Yeah.
And I think that was the downfall from a lot of the businesses from before. I mean, we'll not call the names, but we know, before we would have
But some of the
gotten...
businesses have been more sophisticated packaging than you, so, and that's a costly thing.
It is.
What kind of shelf life you have with your juices that you do?
At the moment, the average juice shelf life,
Is how long?
7 days.
7 days?
Yeah, and that is how much
And
I
that's
would
if you
put them.
store it in the
The
refrigerator. It
refrigerator.
lasts at least 7 days.
Yeah.
But most of them, if somebody come and buy a bottle, they're drinking it off one time.
One time.
So you don't have an issue
I don't have an
of
issue with
storing
that
unless
as
it's
yet.
bulk.
Yeah.
All right?
But surprisingly, customers would come to town, and I know stories of a lot of them who would take 2 buses, come downtown, purchase the product, and go back home with
So your main outlet for selling is where?
it in town, right in front of the Republic Bank.
In Public House?
Yeah, Republic
And
Bank.
Grandans?
Not Grandmas.
The one in town, Mother
yeah.
Street.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Mother
why I
Street.
see you, because operating in Grandans not in town.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
yes, yes.
you do most of your apply there.
Yeah, most of it.
All right.
Yeah.
And in any one day, how many bottles you could move?
In terms of, that would be almost 4. Almost 400.
Almost 400?
Yeah.
And what is the average cost of a bottle? It varies with the type, or is one standard price?
One standard price.
So whether you're buying beet and ginger,
Yeah.
or you're buying sea mouse and something,
Yeah.
is
One standard
and what
price.
that price is?
$5.
$5.
Yeah.
So you believe you're very competitive?
Very, very.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that one, we have a lot of confidence in it, in terms of like the taste, because it has been a lot of years put into it.
Okay. How
Yeah.
much years you have been in this?
Unofficially, we'll say 16.
Okay.
Officially,
You're
I
a
was,
young man, so every
Yeah.
16 years, that means you start really young.
since I was in school, selling to my friends. So, but officially, it will be roughly
business
about
platter?
9 months.
And
Yeah.
I'm not as platter.
Well, from ever since,
Okay.
from in school to now.
Well, yeah, but the business platter have started how long?
In school?
No, I mean, going out and selling it to the public and so on. In school, your friends and...
Oh, yeah. Oh, in terms of that, it will be from 2019.
2019.
Yeah. It was just before COVID.
Yeah. Yes. And, okay, so do you have challenges with loss of fruits through spoilage and so on, or you have storage that could keep the quality up to a certain point?
In terms of the raw product, no. Like the storage of the passion fruits and the tamarind, no. But in terms of like the finished product, yeah, from time to time, especially in the beginning.
But not significant
Not
affect your
significant,
cost in a
nah.
serious way.
No.
Okay, so viewers, we go into a break now, so when we come back, we'll be engaging in some tasting. And I have the technical crews going to help me, because Byron is helping me here tonight to help me.
That is
So
it.
we're going to engage with the crew and get their comments on some of the products that we taste. Stay with us.
Is the air you're breathing really clean? At Allied Laboratories, we offer indoor air quality testing for commercial and residential spaces. Our rapid test results provide precise ratings of common air contaminants and will recommend the best actions to eliminate them effectively. Why do an indoor air quality test? Protect immunocompromised occupants, detection of mold and bacteria, identify volatile organic compounds, identify particulate matter, identify harmful pollutants that may otherwise go undetected, enhances safety and comfort, breathe easier and live healthier. Allied Laboratories, bringing quality laboratory services directly to you.
Grenada, are you ready for the most epic cool down after Spice Mass? Because on Wednesday, August 12th, the Grenada National Cricket Stadium becomes the home of one massive soca experience. Carnival Encore, Sunset Over White.
Are you ready?
Featuring not one, but two international soca giants, Marshall Montano and the Monk Band. Yes, the band.
She tell me rum and Coca-Cola. Miss how she lay.
And they'll be joined by some of Grenada's biggest soca superstars for one unforgettable night of music, vibes, and pure island energy. This is the event that keeps the carnival spirit alive. The final celebration. The Encore. You don't want to miss. General admission and VIP early bird tickets are sold out online. General admission $150, VIP $550. Get your tickets now at GoToFed.com and the official Sunshine Promotions outlets. Carnival Encore 2026. Sunset Over White. Wednesday, August 12th at the National Cricket Stadium. When the road ends, this is the Encore.
At Grenlick, we believe in the peace of mind that comes from preparation. Preparation is your first defense against natural disasters. First, create an emergency plan and ensure everyone knows it. Second, stock up on solar and battery-powered lights, chargers, and secure essentials. Install a transfer switch on your generator to prevent power from flowing onto Grenlick's lines. Third, wear safe. Trim trees that may fall and damage power lines. Preparation saves lives and property. Be ready. Grenlick, energizing our Grenada.
Welcome back, viewers. As we indicated, we're talking about juices and processing. We're talking with the young entrepreneur for Platter Cool, Mr. Quito, and his journey to get us where we are today, Jerome Quito. So, in this segment of the program, we're going to talk about the tasting, but we will get there shortly. You know, listening to you, Jerome, a lot of the juices are health juices.
Yep.
Because you're mixing ginger with beet. This is a ginger and beet one which I tasted, and I'll give you my verdict in a while. Tell me about some of the others and what would have prompted you. You have sorrel. Is sorrel alone or sorrel mixed with something else?
Sorrel and spices.
Sorrel and spices.
Yeah.
And the tambourine?
The tambourine would be tambourine only.
Tambourine only?
Yeah.
What other mixes you do? You have passion fruit?
A citrus mix.
Right.
The citrus usually have grapefruit, lemon, lime.
Right.
Yeah,
And
gospel.
the one with the green one here, that one is
Cucumber, lime.
cucumber and lime?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, from a health perspective, have you ever, as a business, look at different mixes and the proportions so that when you sell it, you're selling a health drink to somebody? So I'm a diabetic, so I don't want juices with sugar. So if I come by you, I will want beet, because beet, I am told, helps with circulation, and ginger also helps with digestion and so on.
Yeah.
So that would be one of mine. So I would certainly be buying.
Yeah.
But what would have prompted you to go down that road?
As I said, listening to the customers, especially the turmeric and ginger.
Right.
This
You
one,
don't have that here.
I don't have it today,
Right.
but this one is a good seller as well among the men,
Okay.
especially. There's other flavors we looking into, like the Burgundy and Mobby and so forth, but we still have it in the lab.
Right. And turmeric and ginger is very popular. Turmeric is a very popular thing now for dealing with inflammation.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
And of course the ginger helps.
The
with
ginger
digestion and all of that.
circulation.
So that is a popular one, as you said.
Yep, it is. It is.
And you know, it's interesting to know that we're getting healthy in terms of what we consume in drinks
Yep.
and not sugar.
Yep.
Because some of the leaders, as locally we say, is like sling, fussy sweet. You know, so it's something that you know we need to push, and I hope your company is taking the opportunity to push that side of it.
Yeah.
I want to come back to you on the marketing. What kind of marketing you engage in, apart from just your advertising? What it is that you're doing to get people to be familiar with what you're doing?
Well, other than posting on social media,
Right.
I think selling in front of the bank, it has given me a good push in terms of like seeing the people every day on a daily basis. Yeah, and so far that is what we're working on. Sales.
Okay. Have you had any bad experience with when people come and purchase and say this one ain't tasting good, or
Yeah.
you know, and what?
So my thing is, once a customer come back and say, hey, this one you ain't tasting like how it usually tastes, I take it very seriously. Either ask the customer if you want another one, apologize first, and replace it immediately. But Platter Cool, we have procedures, we have the ingredients, we have recipes.
Okay, so I'm about to ask you how you ensure consistent quality from bottle to bottle.
So every day you come, the meat should be beaten. Yeah.
So you're producing batches of how much? 40 gallons a time?
So
if you're doing the sorrel and, not sorrel, the beet and ginger.
So the beet and ginger, we usually produce it 5 gallon one go. That will give you like about either 40 to 44 500 ml bottles like this. Yeah, so one go, and
so you maintain the quality over that 5 gallons. It's
this 5
coming
gallon
from one pail.
Yeah, and in terms of, we use scale, we use measurements. Obviously,
Through the recipes.
yeah. Obviously, I wouldn't share the recipes.
No. That's your national secret.
But we do have recipes. We do have procedures in making it. As I said, even with the passion fruit, if you realize the passion fruit does not settle,
Right.
meaning like it doesn't separate from
The water.
that easily, and it's a procedure that you have to follow in order to
Have
get
you
it
been
like this.
able to get your products in schools where, consumption of sugar through the soft drinks and other
Yes.
other juices that they get
Yes.
is a problem for us with children developing diabetes and things at earlier ages? Have you been able to get your juices with lower sugar content
Into
and
the school?
non-sugar to the children?
Yes, we sell for 2 schools, you know.
Okay.
And that would be the Anglican High School and Happier Secondary.
And what is the most popular flavor from the schools that you have picked up?
The kids will passion fruit, sorrel, citrus. They will like these flavors, like less mobby, less the.
Right, and how much sugar you have in those drinks? They're lightly sugared or
Light.
sweetened?
Moderately, yeah, moderately.
In the industry like that, there's a thing called bricks. You ever heard about bricks?
No.
Bricks is a test for the sugar content.
Oh,
So when you're in the soft drink industry, that is a quality control. The bricks for certain drinks have to be at a certain level. So ensure that the sugar content is where it is at. Something you're going to, you should look into.
I should
Yeah.
definitely.
So, what I want to suggest to you, I believe your business has so much potential. And I believe that you need to get to a point of meeting with GIDC for them to help you write a project. That you could present to a financial institution like the GDB. The GDB has a lot of monies available to young entrepreneurs like yourself
Yeah.
to buy the necessary equipment and set your business on a path that could expand. What do you think about that?
Well, we did have a project that we're working on, and we have completed like the theoretical part, the research,
Right.
and so forth. But as we say, we're taking our time and we're working because there's a lot to learn about business, especially in Grenada with this, the population size. You have to make sure
You have to target tourism.
tourism.
So population tourism, what makes tourism a significant part of the economy? When a cruise ship comes in with 3,000 people, it swells the population by that if they spend. Similarly in the hotels. And a problem we have with our hotel and tourism is that we never seem to have a proper array of local juices.
That is true.
Right? So for the hotels, probably you could sell them in 5-gallon bottles.
5-gallon bottles.
But they need the things that hotels would need is a consistent supply and a consistent price,
And we can give them that.
right? And of course the quality.
Yeah.
So it is something I think you need to look at, because every hotel, in their peak season, which starts in October, November, and runs right through until March, April, they have majority of the guests coming in. And if the hotel is offering local juices, some people will want the apple juice and so on, but if you start selling, the passion fruit is such a juice that when you start drinking it, you don't want to stop.
That is it.
You understand? So I'm saying that is where Platacool could look to expand your base. But for that, you need to have equipment to give you quicker production times.
production.
And filling, because filling takes a lot of time.
Yep.
You can automate your filling
Yeah.
and get it done. So I throw out all these ideas to you because young entrepreneurs like yourself, yes, you spend a lot of time on quality and making sure you get it right, labeling and so on. But down the road, for your business to grow,
You have to.
you have to invest in the infrastructure. You have to invite local investors to come into your business, to bring capital, bring money at a cheaper cost than go into a financial institution like a bank or a GDB, where the interest rate could be a challenge. And when you get people to come and invest through shares, for example, it's free money. Think about it.
Think about it.
Yeah, free money. So you could set up your business. Plata's already set up. Yes, have it set up as a company or as a trading name?
So when I set it up, I was in college at the time. I was in 2010.
Right.
So I think it's on that sole trader.
Yeah, so it's a trading name, so
Yeah.
trader.
Yeah.
You must think about expanding it and offering shares. You have a lot of friends. You could offer them some shares in your company. You could be the majority shareholder with your family. But offer friends, so yes, they come in and help you, but they have a stake.
That is it.
You understand?
Yeah.
All right, so, and I keep saying, I mentioned GIDC more than once. You must have a conversation with them that could guide you properly my experience over the years with them, they could guide you properly in setting it up, giving you ideas how to structure and do things, and offer you a space. There are space down in GIDC. They could offer young entrepreneurs like yourself to set up your thing properly. And I would love to see your business. I think you have some excellent juices here.
That is it.
And I would like to see you expand and get things in a way that could be more formal. Your recipes, you could protect them. You could, when I look at businesses like our Governor General, Lagunard Industries, she has some of the best products internationally, like the nutmeg syrup.
Yep.
And that goes anyway and could stand the test of time and is unique because we have nutmeg and the flavor of nutmeg gives it a unique taste.
Yep.
And that's where young entrepreneurs like yourself, I'd like to see you get to that point. So tell me, from where you sit, what do you think government can do apart from helping young people like yourself, young entrepreneurs? We talk a lot about young people and getting them involved in business. Where you think our government should focus to get your business to go to a point where you could say, yes, I'm doing well?
Doing well. So for me, I would say mostly with access to funding. That would be one of the areas that government could consider in terms of helping entrepreneurs in Grenada, because access to funding could be a challenge at times.
Right.
Yeah, except for probably working through GIDC and so forth. Access to funding could be one of the most challenging things in this business.
Right. So getting a project properly written up with your expansion. So simple things. If you're producing 12,000 bottles a month, right, in 18 flavors, across 18 flavors. Yep. The idea is, how could you manage that if you had to increase that by 10%? You know what I mean?
Give it
20%. And you will have some flavors that are more popular than others.
Yeah.
So how do you keep that volume up and make sure that there is consistency with quality and and production? So those are some of the challenges you will face.
Yeah,
And
as
you
we
have
go.
to- and you could get assistance for that through the GIDCs and so on. They will scale it up for you. They will do projections for you and tell you what will be involved financially and otherwise, and help you. And GDB offers grant funding.
Yeah.
You're not pay. Yes, you could go to GDB based on your product and get grant funding, or you could get loans at seriously low interest rate like 2% and 3%. So those are avenues
We can
that-
explore.
Yeah,
for real.
explore it, because as I say, you have great quality. So Dwayne and my other technical, what is your conclusion on the products that you have tasted? Right. The comment from our head technical is that it tastes wonderful. He had a no sugar one with the
Cucumber lime and ginger.
cucumber lime.
Yeah.
And he says he thinks we should promote that more. It tastes really good.
Yeah, it's a high seller as well.
Yeah, and high seller. And I can tell you that my beet and ginger taste wonderful as well. No sugar.
No sugar.
And the ginger is very much present there in the drink. And as I say, beet and ginger helps with circulation and other things. So it's a really healthy drink for us to engage in. So let me ask you some short questions, and you can give me a one-word answer. Favorite flavor?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Most difficult food to process?
Golden apple.
Golden apple, yes, because of how it's structured. The biggest business lesson you have learned so far in your 4 years that you operated?
Never stop.
Never stop.
Yeah.
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
Right through.
Yeah.
You said you were a dreamer when you started. What's your biggest dream?
Biggest dream is to see Platacool transform into a household product.
Right.
I think that is it. Yeah. 10 minutes away from you anyway.
If you was to say 5 years from now, where do you want Platacool to be?
5 years,
5 years from now.
own factory. Own factory for sure. And 2, bigger line of production.
Okay.
Yeah. definitely for that.
One word that describes entrepreneurship from your point of view.
Headache.
A headache. That's a good way to say it.
No, because the day can have 40,000 and tomorrow can have 25 cents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Based on what you do and the engagement in your products.
Yeah.
Well, Brother Kito, I'm giving you an opportunity to give some closing remarks. And if you had to say a word to young people that are looking at us tonight and the products, what would you say and how would you encourage them to get into business?
Well, what I will tell them is whatever business idea, whatever dream you have, whether it's to go and educate yourself, whether it's to start your own business,
Right.
go after it.
Go after it.
Go after it.
So dream.
Dream.
Don't give up on the dream.
Yeah, because there is a Grenadian dream.
Right.
Yeah, and we should create it.
And
You know, it is not in the hands of any politician or any religion, but it is in your hands. Yeah.
and if
The greater is it within you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that.
Remind us again where you're available to, so people could come and get your drink.
So, I could call it some of the shops too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get it at Mr. Doggy, that's in Manhattan. Miss Jenny, that's in Marion. You can get it by McQueen's Minimart in Pembrota. You can get it by Mr. Singh in St. David's. Masters in Shantimel. You can get it by Nympha in Telescope. Healer in Tivoli.
Right.
And I myself feel like if I'm missing somebody. And Kazim in Happy Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, you are there on Melville Street
And I am at Melbourne Street every day.
every day.
Yeah,
And
every day.
you get there from what time?
From 8:30.
8:30.
Yeah, and I leave somewhere around 1 o'clock.
So by 1 o'clock you finish.
Yeah.
All right. Folks, you have heard it from Mr. Jerome Kito. This evening, a young entrepreneur that we always talk about developing business in the rural economy. Bush is doing so much rural, but at least he's employing 4+ people. And as you have heard, he is very much a dreamer. Dreamer has materialized into excellent drinks, healthy drinks, some are no sugar. So something that we could test, because we have a problem with NCDs in our country, primarily diabetes and hypertension. So something to look at. And when you're buying juices, instead of buying the fizzy drinks and the things that are full with sugar, you have an alternative through Platter Cool.
Yeah.
So, Secretary.
And I want to say thanks to you, Mr. Diali, and Mr. Byron Campbell. He had passed by the stall,
Right.
and for whatever reason he came back and he invited us here, and we appreciate it. We appreciate the exposure, the experience. It's greatly appreciated.
Yes, and we, Byron and myself, believe that we need to expose you young people.
That is it.
And I don't know, from a Grenadian standpoint, we have young people that are very much involved in things that need to be exposed.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
So we thank you for coming on the program this evening and sharing your thoughts and your products with us. And I could tell you before I leave, I will buy some and hold some, because I think they're such interesting drinks.
Yeah,
So we could test them out. Viewers, that is all the time we have this evening. We thank you for being with us and for talking with Mr. Kito from Platter Cool. We encourage you to engage in his business. He has called out all the different places around the island, interestingly, where his drinks are available, and particularly on Melville Street. He will be there in person. If you come to buy, he could explain to you about his drinks and what they do and the healthy nature of what he has. So on behalf of the technical crew this evening, we thank you for being part of the program, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place. Have a good evening and a good night.